Hello everyone. Today's video is not going to be a long one, but it is definitely a long-awaited update in the Devon Marsman case. I wanted to bring you all an update in the case and the new news, because I have been getting a lot of comments about the recent news that is broken, and it seems like a lot of you are following this case still, which is amazing. I am so glad that eyes are on it. I did cover Devon's case back in March, and at that point it had been 2 years since his disappearance. If you want to go watch that video, I'll have the link up above. I did a whole deep dive on the case. But as a quick refresh, 16-year-old Devon Marsman was last seen in the Spryfield area of Halifax, Nova Scotia, with his cousin and another 16-year-old friend. And his cousin and these friends seemed to be into some nefarious activities. The area of town he was last seen in wasn't a great area, but he seemingly vanished without a trace. And considering his cousin was one of the last people to have been with him, you'd think that this cousin would want to do everything he could to try to help find him. He spent a lot of time with them. But as of this week, we finally have updates as police release that they have now arrested 2 individuals in Devon's disappearance. One being Devon's own cousin, 26-year-old Devon Marsman, as well as a 20-year-old male who was a minor at the time of Devon's disappearance, which does make me want to think that it was that 16-year-old that he was also last seen with, possibly. But all I have to say about Triton is, what a piece of shit. I had a bad feeling about Triton from the beginning, and now here we are with him in cuffs. But just how sad. The Devon trusted his cousin. He looked up to him. He was, quite a bit older than him. And to think that his cousin that he trusted and he loved so much betrayed him allegedly and was allegedly involved in all of this according to authorities now. That's awful. It's just absolutely awful. I can't imagine. As I said, what a piece of shit. But with all of these new arrests, there has to be evidence behind that, obviously. And police have also announced that they have found human remains. Now, they haven't explicitly said that they are 100% sure it is Devon's remains, but they have basically insinuated that it most likely is. You can put 2 and 2 together. Now, at this point in time, police aren't giving any information of the timeline of when the remains were found, the state that they were in, causes of death, etc. Now, they most likely will be waiting for trial for that information to come out, so we might not know for a very long time. Maybe we will before then, but again, this is a Canadian case, and as we know, the Canadian authorities don't really like to release much.
I am saddened to share that investigators believe Devon was the victim of a homicide.
Chief Don McLean broke the news. The police say they also found human remains that they believe belong to Devon Marsman.
We're looking at the totality of the evidence that we have, the evidence we've gathered, and that is leading the investigators to believe that the remains that we have that are in the possession of the medical examiner's office now belong to Devon Marsman.
What we do know is that Triton was recently in court. He made his first court appearance, and he's being charged with second-degree murder, indignity to human remains, and obstruction of justice. With that indignity to human remains charge, it really makes me wonder what truly happened to Devon and what happened to him in the aftermath, what they did with his body. Could that charge simply be because his remains were disposed of, or could something, more nefarious have been done to his remains? It really adds a lot of questions to this. But again, just what a piece of shit. Now, what I do find very interesting is that the 20-year-old who was 16 at the time is only being charged at this point in time with accessory after the fact to murder, as well as obstruction of justice. And he is also being charged in juvenile court because he was a minor at the time, which is just very interesting to me how that all works. Police have also hinted that there are more arrests anticipated. Over the years, it's been questioned why police haven't been doing anything in this case. This case has kind of seemed on a standstill, but it turns out that police were doing things. And I'm pretty sure I talked about in my coverage of Devon's case how the individuals that Devon was last involved with were involved with, allegedly illicit activities. So the chances of getting information from these people is going to be really hard because no one's going to want to snitch on each other. But it does seem like authorities were chipping away at the block. They were working on this case behind the scenes, which is amazing. We don't often see this in these cases. Authorities would eventually go on to say to the media, and I quote, "It is difficult when any member of a community goes missing, but when that missing person is a child, it's even more traumatic. Our investigators have worked tirelessly on this case. Our efforts to find out what happened to Devon have never wavered." End quote. As of what's going to be happening next, it seems like Triton's next court appearance isn't for another month, so this is probably going to be a very slow process. My heart does go out to the family, though, especially Devon's mother, Teresa, who has been fighting tirelessly for her son and for answers. I am very glad that there is finally answers coming, even though these definitely weren't the answers that anyone wanted. Obviously, best case scenario, Devon was just out there somewhere and was found and he comes home alive. Devon was just a kid. He didn't deserve whatever did happen to him, especially at the hands, allegedly, of his cousin. It's just awful all around. someone he trusted, someone he looked up to, and now here we are. But Devon will be getting justice. If anything else major comes out, I will be chatting with you all, but for now, this seems to be where the case stands. Again, despite the circumstances, I am happy that the family is going to be getting some answers because, again, not many of these cases do. But how are you all feeling? I'm sure this is a very difficult time for them right now, so please go show the family love if you can. Go show them support. And as always, I hope you all stay safe out there, lock your windows and doors, and I hope to see you in the next video.